comes. Since this one's public, I'm going to record the video as well and pause when they're... Yeah, this is perfect. All right, Brian, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have a drinky beverage today or no? Not today.
I do. It's just not a drinky beverage, just a Zevia black cherry.
Oh, I have a whole box of those. I love them.
Yeah.
You were right.
Yeah.
Sometimes Brian's right. Here's one of them. He was so right about that flavor. It is the best they have.
Sometimes.
Most of the time you're right.
Most of the time, but not always. I'll be the first to admit that I'm not always right.
Yeah, I'm rarely right, but you
still got to watch. You still got to trust me and watch one episode, the first episode of whatever that stupid Netflix dating in pods show was.
Oh, the thing Randy rips on. Yeah, I need to watch that.
Yeah, one episode. All I suggest.
I don't tell him, but I believed you.
Love is blind. That's it. Yeah.
I believed you, not him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, come on.
Come on. Yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
All right. Here goes, everybody. Starting it up, kicking it off, making it happen. It starts in 3, 2, 1. Nope. Wrong. What the hell's that?
Not that button. Another button.
3.
That button.
2, 1.
This is the morning stream, but it's not in the morning, it's at night. TMSPM.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the morning stream PM. And you might be hearing this on your regular old public feed going, what the crap?
What? Did they just take money out of my account that I didn't authorize to give me this show?
That's crazy. No, we just decided that everybody should get it because yesterday, so I don't know if these things are related. A lot of coincidences in this weird time we're living in, but we had an aftershock that ended up being as high as 4.2.
That's crazy.
On the Richter scale there, and it was pretty bad. People felt, well, not, didn't break stuff, but everybody heard it. And no big deal. We're used to them now, so I just got up and going about my day, and I noticed that the internet's not behaving right. And I thought, is my ISP down? Can't tell. Tried the different ISP. Didn't work. Like, something else is weird. Something internally. Did the earthquake jack something up? And anyway, finally narrowed it down around noon yesterday to a router, a switch to be specific. I have an 8-port switch, 10-base-T switch, which I've had forever, and most of the time, switches never break. They kind of are just traffic throughput. They don't really do anything. It's not a smart switch. It doesn't do anything fancy. You don't have it programmed to do anything. It's just supposed to let me plug an input in and then a whole bunch of outputs, and everybody gets internet. That's kind of how it's supposed to work. And this switch went kapoopy, and I had to hunt around in the not laundry room. What is it? A storage room in there, and I found an old 4-port switch that works just fine. And with no kids here, they used to be, their computers were in here. They're not anymore, so I don't need those extra ports for all the stuff I was doing. So it did nicely. So we're good. We're all running at least 100 megabit speeds on the local network here again, and everything's fine. We're all good for the show.
All the IT guys in the audience just freaked out. 10-base-T.
I know it's not a full. It's not like a gigabit switch. The other one was.
He's using all 4 twisted pairs. All 4.
I am. I'm using the ARPANET. I have I have some coaxial cables in my ring. What's it called?
Listen, it's green, blue, and white. Green and white. No. Yes, that's right. Green, blue, and white. Green and white, blue, orange and white, brown and white.
You are 100% correct. And I used to crimp my own back in the day.
Yeah, I did too. I still do crimp my own. I have a big roll of 100-base-T cable.
Yeah. Do your own crimping. Your own crimping.
Do my own crimping. I have a crimper and all that stuff.
That's pretty rad. See, look at us. We're technically savvy. We know what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This cable that Todd Whitehead, Gnomewise, had me run from my computer directly to the thing in the other room, to the upstairs through the walls. That's it. Cat 6 or Cat 5, Cat 6, whatever it is.
Yeah. I think they're Cat 6.
Yeah, that's Cat 6.
I think
There
so.
we go.
I
White
don't
and orange stripe, solid orange, white and green stripe, solid blue, white and blue stripe, solid green. Oh, that's a weird Blue Ridge John. That's a weird order.
That's a different configuration than I'm used to. Maybe something's changed though. It's been years.
You know, as long as the things twist to the right places, because basically your two ends almost mirror each other.
Right.
Or your two ends do mirror each other, but because of the twist, there's some, I don't know.
It's not a euphemism, everybody. Don't get all dirty-minded about this.
To make a long story short, non-patrons, think of this episode as our stimulus package to you. We're giving you our stimulus package.
That's really what this comes back to. It's a stimulus package for missing yesterday's podcast, and we apologize for that. That sucked. I was not happy about it, especially right now. I feel an overwhelming. It's one thing if it's like normal times and Brian's like, I have a dental appointment, or I'll be in a flight, or I've got a thing, or whatever.
Right.
But because we're all in this, man, we just want to deliver, and I was so irritated yesterday. But here we are. We're delivering. And join the Patreon if you want to keep getting the Friday episode, because that's how you get it. Okay, so some of y'all are listening to this going, "Oh yeah, right, I got to get in there." So get in there and do that.
Right. This is what those Friday shows are like. Oh yeah,
they're terrible. Sweet.
Brian sometimes drinks and doesn't pay attention to the show, and Scott has to repeat things to him. And
Scott's having a Dr. Pepper 10. Don't tell anyone, but it's a Dr.
10. 10 calories? Is that 10 calories?
Yeah, here's what it's got in it. It's not real sugar, though. Oh, I take it back. It's got a little high fructose corn syrup in it, but a tiny bit, because they're keeping it down to the 10 calories instead of the 180 or whatever
it's
it is
like
usually.
The Pepsi Life or Coke Life.
It's like Coke Life,
the
exactly.
Green cans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except Coke Life uses stevia.
Is that so? That's the fake. There's one that
I think
maybe it was a Pepsi one that had like reduced sugar.
Yeah, it was a Pepsi 1 or something like that. Pepsi 10, maybe even been Pepsi 10. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Was it? And then they had a Coke 10 or something.
Was there a Coke 10?
I thought there was something like that. There was
something like that where it's like just reduced sugar, but not the full amount. Also, not the. They should do one with cane sugar, like just like Mexican Coke used to be. Just call it Coke cane.
I think that. I think that's what the Coke Life one is. It's a combination of cane sugar and the stevia business, the plant-based deal. I think that's what that is, which seems pretty good. I'm gonna have to maybe look at that, because I don't mind. Once in a while, it's all right for just a tiny little bit of the sugar, just a little pinch of the sugar. See, it just can't do the full. This
is
full
where it
business.
starts, people.
Yeah.
This is where it starts.
Notice how I'm justifying this very well on the show right now. Anyway, they had a deal, so I grabbed a case.
What kind of a deal?
It's like $1 for a case, if you want to really know what kind of a deal.
That's a really good deal.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So today we do takeout once a week, okay? And today we decided that was the day we were going to do it, and it was Popeyes. And I'm sorry, I take it back. It was Zupa's. You know what Zupa's is?
Zupa's. No, I'm going to guess it's an Italian soup place.
Kind of, sort of, but not really. It's more like I don't know what to compare it to, but they have tons of different kinds of soups. Whole bunch of salad choices, paninis, that kind of thing. And you do the counter, and they make it while you walk up the counter, and they ask you if you want the extra things or whatever. So it's a little bit like a Qdoba or something that way, except, just for salads and sandwiches and stuff. Anyway, they're all over the state here, and they're good, and they're fine. Kim thought, hey, I'm gonna get salads for us today. She says, you cool with that? I said, yeah, that sounds great. Let's do a nice, healthy salad, and maybe a panini to split.
Nice.
Creamy panini.
Creamy panini.
Panini. Tiny white bikini. Anyway, so she does this, and I'm down here working, and I hear bing bong, and I hear her walk into the door, and she calls me, and she goes, how do you feel about Popeyes? And I said, how do I feel about Popeyes? What do you mean? She goes,
probably feel better about Popeyes than the Zupas, or than the Popeyes customer is going to feel about getting some Zupas.
Well, you're right on the money there, because it turns out the DoorDash people, or somebody somewhere, I don't know how it worked, but someone screwed up and ordered Okay, so we got somebody's Popeyes order, and it was a good one. crispy chicken sandwich, the one you want, the one that was that nobody could
spicy
get.
one?
Yep, the spicy one.
Nice.
So I got that. Their fries are pretty good. So we had those. I mean, none of this is like the better choice of lunch or whatever, but
right.
Kim got whatever the other one was. It was like nuggets and some other stuff. And we just
Guessing
thought
there was something deep fried in the order.
I think there were onion rings in there. So she got
everything at Popeyes except the biscuits are deep fried, aren't they?
I think so. You're pretty close to true, I think. I think that's all true, actually.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're like, okay, fine. It's some guy named Zachary. It's not us. But we got it at the door. And by the way, it was way more food than we'd ordered from Zupa's. Therefore, at the end of it all, we paid way less for what it would have it cost. It would have cost us more money had we been Zachary. But because we're not because we're not Zachary.
Zachary spent a lot more than you did on his DoorDash.
Exactly. Now, the thinking in my head was, oh well, maybe this Zachary person got our bag, and it was the driver who screwed up. He mixed the two orders up.
Right.
5 minutes later, bing bong, open the door. It's a different driver and says, "Here's your order," and they've got Zupas. And I went, "Oh, okay. Well,
oh no, we've already eaten all the Popeyes."
And we said to her, "Now we just had a delivery, and it was all Popeyes. Is there? What do you want us to do?" And she goes, "Oh, I don't know why. Yours is just this one." She goes, "You're only being charged for this one." She looked it up in the app and everything. She goes, "This is the only thing you're doing." And I said, "Oh, well, okay, we'll do that." And then Kim called Zupa's, and they never had an order for us under our name. But we still got the food. So the mystery deepens.
That's even weirder.
I need Veronica Mars to take third period off and dig in, man. Tell me what happened here, because I don't get it.
That's bizarre. There's definitely some sort of malfunction somewhere, but wow.
So we put that in the fridge, and that'll be tonight.
Nice.
They would not take, even if this was the same driver, they won't take the Popeyes back. Once they deliver it, the policy at DoorDash, even before the quarantine, you don't take it back because somebody in that house could have, peed on
infected it.
Yeah,
no, without question. I even wonder. I mean, even if we weren't in quarantine, social distancing, pandemic situation, I think that once they drop the food off, if you've taken it into your house, there is no returning that food, because you could have, even if we weren't in a pandemic, you could have tampered with it or something.
Right. And so
at that point, you could have dropped a peanut into it.
Oh, I totally could have. They could have put a pube in there. A pube.
Right.
What if
I was thinking more along the lines of allergies over something gross, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, I went right to pube. You went with
I went to peanut.
But I always think of that, like if you're going to get somebody else's food, I don't know where their hands have been. I don't know what they've been doing.
I know, right. Pull their hands out of their pants. Oh, thank you. Want a tip? No, we're good.
So poor Zachary. I don't know if Zachary got his food. I don't know if he ate. I'm sure they worked it out and probably got it late and reordered it or whatever, because he never got his stuff. But this was the strangest mix-up.
Zachary somehow ended up with 18 orders of breadsticks from Olive Garden.
Well, it is all you can eat, Brian. They can just have as much as they want.
It is all you can eat. Can you deliver all I can eat?
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I hope it worked okay for him. I feel a little bad about that, but of course we have no way of getting hold of this Zachary person. It's not in our purview to do it.
It's up to DoorDash to get a hold of that. My guess is Zachary will be getting a hold of DoorDash.
They probably will, and hopefully his food did not have a pube.
A pube or a peanut.
Or a peanut pube. All right. So that was that story. That was a real fun time. And that happened just before the show, so I thought I'd share it. We also got an email. This is about your bread and your starter, Brian.
Good, because I made some more stuff today, and I'll talk about it.
Oh, good.
That's
awesome. All right. Travis in Michigan. Oh, I heard today that everyone's supposed to, what's the word? Not release. What's the word when you storm the castle? You
evacuate?
Not evacuate. You
raid?
You're getting close. What is it? When you liberate. There's a certain person on Twitter, just a Twitter user, no name. I won't give you the name. Just a guy, some guy on Twitter, in all caps this morning, yelled "Liberate Michigan." He's a person. Well, it was Donald Trump. I'm sorry, it was Donald Trump.
I was going to say, is he an orange person?
He's an orange person. He
said liberate. He said liberate Michigan.
Because they are all in there, open the state, and they're all gathering together and blocking cars in front of hospitals and being total a-holes out there. And he's telling them that this is cool and go ahead and do it. And I just wanted to If I could just call or text Jack, the current CEO of Twitter, Jack Conte, and just say, no, it's not Jack Conte.
Not Jack Conte. That's Patreon.
Yeah,
that's Pumplatreon.
Jack Berkowitz, whatever his name is.
Sure.
What's wrong with me? Dorsey, Jack Dorsey.
Son of Sam all of a sudden.
Yeah. Jack Dorsey. If I could get a hold of him, I'd just say, I was just curious, but is inciting insurrection and civil war, is that against your terms of service? I just want to ask you if that is. Anyway, whatever. Forget about that.
He's turned many a blind eye to a lot of these things. I doubt that that's the one that's gonna trigger him, unfortunately.
They're literally following his guidelines, and yet he's stoking that fire. I know it's... Anyway, maybe he shouldn't watch TV. Maybe I shouldn't read Twitter. The important thing is...
Maybe, yes.
Here's the important thing.
Yes.
The important thing is Travis is in Michigan. That's the only reason I brought that up.
Hopefully he's staying safe and not storming the castle.
Yeah. He says this. Subject to sourdough from TMS 1912. Like, yeah, it was 1912.
1912?
And he says, Dear brioche and scone. I've heard brioche before. Scone's a new one. Nice job.
Scone's a new one. Mm-hmm.
Just catching up on TMS on episode 1912, Brian was talking about his sourdough starter. He is making it way more complicated than it needs to be. Oh, really? Okay, well, we'll see.
I know what he's going to say, and I considered this.
All right, says my wife made...
Please continue, Travis.
My wife made her own starter from my testicles 5+ years ago. Oh, I threw that... I'm sorry, that testicle part I made up.
That part, yeah.
I made that part up. And keeps the original in the fridge, which she affectionately calls the mother. She feeds it about once a month to keep it alive. She also keeps a bowl of it under the counter, or on the counter rather, that she has been there perpetually for years. That's a weird way to write that. It is referred to as the donor, as she takes from it when she makes bread or whatever she can think of to use it for. Never mind. I personally use it for lube. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Man, I'm having a hard time reading today, these words. I personally use it to make the best waffles, not lube. How did I read lube there?
Did you really read lube? I thought you were just like...
No, I was just kidding.
Okay, all right, good.
I just was really playing it up.
Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I will look at the words, and different words are in my ears than the ones I'm seeing right there.
Yep, it's a fair point. Brian says, Brian, you don't need to be so precise when feeding it. Just add approximately equal parts water and flour and stir it in. As long as it is less than runny in consistency than water and more runny than peanut butter, you are good, and the daily feeding is optional. The best tasting breads come from starter that has a rich, sour smell that you can barely stand. This comes from its maturing over time. Play something smelly here. Love the show, yo. Travis in Michigan.
Well, thank you, Travis. That actually sounded more complicated than what I do. Because I know about, you can keep starter in the fridge and then you only have to feed it. I actually thought if you keep starter in the fridge, you need to feed it weekly. I didn't know about the monthly.
I didn't either. I thought it was
daily.
Weekly.
So if she's got the donor on the counter,
yep. The donor.
She's got to be feeding it as well on a daily basis, right? You can't leave a starter on the counter at room temperature and not feed it on the daily.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
But it sounds like the donor, unless is she making, see, here's the question. This is the question I'd ask Travis. Is she making something from the donor daily? Because what's the point of having it out if you're
he might be using it frequently to apparently I've just been watching Space Jam. Quarter to 5.
Did you already watch it? Are you done?
Yeah, I already watched it last night.
Can I just get a up or down from you? Just a thumb up or down?
Okay, I've never seen it before.
Right.
I don't know.
Not really your bag. Not really your thing. Okay.
Not really my bag, and it's going to be. I mean, we'll have a fun time talking about it, I'm sure. I don't think it's going to be as easy to talk about as something like 2012.
Oh, yeah, no. I think I definitely agree with you, even sight unseen. But I have a fondness for that movie, and I just don't know if I'm going to go in and be disappointed in myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, that's good to hear. Anyway, sorry. Back to
back to the thing. So, him talking about being precise when feeding it. Here's the other thing. I try to be precise when I'm feeding it, but it always ends up the same way. I take an empty jar, put it on the scale, turn on the scale. It zeroes out the scale to the weight of the jar.
Okay.
So it starts at 0 grams. Then I take the jar that's currently got starter in it and use a chopstick and dump that into the empty jar.
Yeah.
And I get, it's like, oh, okay, my target is about 113 or so grams. I always get to like, all right, 110. All right, let's just do a little bit more. Thunk. All right, 120 grams now is my my new target.
Wow.
So then I know, okay, 120 grams. Then I take water. I've got water that I've kept on the counter that's room temperature. Pour that in there. Again, let's see, 100, 116, 117, 125. Okay, so that's my new target right there is 125. Then I get the flour out, and the flour I can be a little bit more precise with, and I put in 125 grams of flour.
Okay.
Stir it all together, put the lid back on, put it on the counter, done. Then I've got the old jar of starter, and it's like, well, do I just discard it, or do we try to make something out of it?
Okay.
Today I decided to make English muffins, because I've never made English muffins.
I didn't know you could do that with sourdough. I don't know why.
You can totally do that with sourdough.
Sure.
You take sourdough, you add flour, you add butter, you add water, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar. You can even add like powdered milk if you've got some of that. And you basically turn it into a dough. It's a much firmer dough than typical sourdough dough, which is a lot stickier. This is more like traditional dough.
Sure.
Let it rise, roll it out, punch a bunch of circles in it, and then you put the circles on another cookie sheet covered with cornmeal. Let those rise, and then you take those and put it on a smoking hot griddle, a 350-degree griddle.
Ooh.
And you just let those things cook. They rise a little bit more.
Yeah.
And they get brown on one side. I should bring them down. I'll take a picture and I'll put it on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, you totally should. I want to see how they
brown
look.
on one side, and then you flip them over, and I take the spatula. I'm talking about this like I do this on the regular. It's the first time I ever made it. And then I press it down a little bit to kind of flatten it a little bit, get the sides to bow out a little bit, and this looks just like regular. These look like the English muffins you get in the store.
Oh, see, I love a good English muffin, even store-bought. They're so good.
Yeah. Now, when you cut them open, they don't have the pockets, the big pockets like the regular English muffins. They're a little bit firmer, but they're still really good.
Yeah.
I could go get them.
You should go get one. Do you want to get one?
Zoe and Rainbow Brian. I can be back in 10 seconds.
I think you should go grab one. I think we should see
All
it
right.
on the show.
All right.
We're all here. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
All right, be right back.
All right, Brian's running upstairs. He's been sitting. How many farts do you guys think he injected into that chair? Let's take some bets before he gets back. So he's got that little spinny chair there, see? And how long have we been on? Let's see, we've been recording for about 24, 25 minutes total. How many farts? 12 farts? 6 farts? 75 farts. Jeez, 458. I'm gonna say 8. 8 farts. We're never gonna find out the answer to this. That chair tells no tales. And Brian's not gonna come back and go, guys, guess how many times I farted in this chair? Right? We shouldn't even tell him we had this discussion. All right. Oh, here he comes. I hear his voice. So everyone shut up. Shh. It's our secret. All right, you're back.
Okay, I'm back. How long was that?
It wasn't very long.
Phew.
It wasn't long
All
at all.
right.
Let's see it. What do you get? Let me hold this up. Let's see.
Here,
Get the camera
I will
on.
hold it up. So
look at this.
here's the English muffin. Look at the sides are like
Hold on. How do you do the cornbready side? You know what I mean? Like the crusty
the cornmeal.
Yeah, how do you is that just cornmeal?
It's just cornmeal. You put cornmeal on the thing when it's rising, sprinkle a little bit on top,
Yeah.
and then
That's beautiful.
when you griddle it, it looks just like that.
Now, when you're done, so you would you retoast these if you're going to eat them now? Is that sort of the
Yes.
idea? Okay.
Yeah, cut them open, retoast them, put a little butter, a little jam or something on there.
Now, in Britain, they'd call those... Well, those aren't
Crumpet.
Oh, they are a crumpet? Okay. That's a
Yeah,
crumpet. So when we say English muffin, we're just saying crumpet, really.
Right, which I like crumpets better.
What
I
if-
mean, the term crumpet.
Is there a Spanish muffin? Or a German muffin? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Oh, Bagheera says don't smash it. So that's the problem?
Oh.
Okay.
Why is that a problem? Because you want the air in
That's
there?
why, that's why I'm not getting the air in there. So I thought, crumpets are firm and full of holes. Okay.
Okay. But isn't...
Oh, here we go. Okay, crumpets are cooked on one side, and have a spongy texture.
Yeah.
English muffins have a bready texture and cooked on both sides. That's the difference. So they're not the same. I
Okay.
always thought they were the same, but I guess I've always looked at, when I see pictures of crumpets, it looks like what you get if you cut an English muffin in half with all those holes, the nooks and crannies of the Thomas's English muffins.
That's what I thought. I'm with you. I always thought a crumpet was just a different way of saying, it was like when they say, potato or whatever they say. What do they say? I don't know what they say.
Potato.
Oh, I know. They say, they'll say biscuit, we'll say cookie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because a lot of those are the same, like those sugar biscuit, sugar cookie things.
Yeah, it's funny. A crumpet almost looks like an unsweetened pancake, like a thicker pancake.
Oh, that sounds good right now. You can probably make those too.
So,
why not?
Oh, for sure. The pancakes, Nicole swears by them. So tomorrow I'm going to take the leftover starter and make pancakes in the morning and try that out. She says they are to die for. Like that's probably why Travis in Michigan raves about the waffles, because the pancake batter, waffle batter, Nicole Spagnolo says that's the shiz.
Oh,
right
which
there.
reminds me, somebody else said put the tater tots on a waffle iron to make big flat tater tot waffles. I am so doing this weekend.
It's like hash brown.
Yeah.
Hash browns. I mean, that's basically what that is.
And cook them real good, like all crispy.
Yes, crispy. Exactly.
Man.
They can never get those crispy enough for me at diners.
Nope. They're all stringy and
Could you
wet.
make the hash browns extra crispy? Oh, sure, no problem. So what do I get? I get like a dark layer of hash brown epidermis with white oily potato, raw potato in the middle.
Yep.
That's what I get.
Yeah, why do they do that? What are they
I
doing?
don't know. It takes me off.
Take that back.
Oh, that's what the guys go, show him a crispy hash brown. Baby.
Yeah, and then they put a pube in it. Nobody wants a pube.
He's what the old woman called a pube.
All right.
Wow.
Had that at the handy. All right. Well, thank you, Travis, and we hope to be able to address your issues every time you have them. So send your emails in. You can use, in Travis's case, he just went to the website and used the old contact form. You can also use the quick message form, or just send us an email, morningstream@gmail.com. Is it the morning? I always forget. The mornings. Nope, it's morning. Yep, it's the morningstream@gmail.com. All right, time for some fun with a thing that isn't Dan. Where is it? There it is. All right, we're playing this now, guys. Here we go.
App Slappy.
All right, welcome to App Slappy, the portion of the show that's a lot like an old show I used to do called App Slappy. In fact, that music is by my old co-host Eric Van Skyhawk, and it's still amazing. So we play it. Yep, he's great. He logged into Heroes of the Storm the other day and made me think he wants to play. I'm gonna have to talk to him. That would be fun. Yeah, that game is. Turns out Heroes is still really good. You can be
Are
mad.
they still adding new stuff to it? I never hear about we've added 5 new characters to it.
Well,
blah, blah, blah.
their goal right now is 3 characters a year, and to answer your question, yeah, they add new stuff all the time. They just dropped a patch where the cores that you have to attack, right? At the end.
Yeah. Right. The chocolate bunnies.
They used to just sort of shoot at you and were hard to deal with or whatever, but now they do all kinds of themed stuff to really work you. So like on the desert level thing, it creates a bunch of swirling tornadoes that just circle around the thing. And if you're on the opposite team, it's just like you got to be careful or it's going to kill you.
Blow you around or something. Oh, that's cool.
The one, the map where there's a bunch of nukes on it. I forgot the name of it. Oh, not Nuketown. Whatever it is. What's it called? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Nukesburg.
Nukesburg, USA. It now fires off its own nukes on the enemy team while they're trying to hack away at it. So it's just you have to do a lot more. They're always updating. It's actually very nice. It's still
That's cool.
Oh, and the other thing is, queue times are great. You just get in. People are playing. There's a ton of people. You just
that's
get
cool.
in.
So you don't have to wait a long time for a...
Yeah. It's my favorite. It's my favorite one. I'm just a snap for a while here. All right, Brian, let's get into it. I'm going to tell you about my app here. It's a game, and it's also brand new. The 2 most recent releases on iOS, specifically on Apple Arcade, the service Apple Arcade, landed today or yesterday. I think today. One is called Beyond Blue, and the other is called A Fold Apart. And I really struggled as to which one I wanted to recommend the most. So I'm going to recommend the one that I have spent the most time with, but I am going to just at least say about the other one that people should probably try it as well. So, all right. So A Fold Apart is actually a simultaneous release on a couple of platforms. The two I know of are Apple Arcade and the Switch got it as well.
Okay.
I assume that's coming to PC, or maybe it's already even there. But it's basically this cute little puzzle game where everything in the world, including the characters, all look like they're kind of made out of paper. That's not new. People have done this before. What makes it unique and interesting is when you start out, you create a couple, and this couple, by the nature of the game, are going to be living a long distance relationship.
Okay.
And it's a puzzle game, weirdly. But the way it works is this guy, well, in my case, I have a pink-haired lady and a blue-haired dude. And you can choose at the beginning, and you can have gay couple, lesbian couple.
Oh, nice.
The man-woman roles are switched, so the pink-haired person is the man.
I'm glad to see that my paper people are so inclusive.
Yeah, there's a lot of inclusive stuff going on with the paper people. But in my case, it's a blue man and a pink lady, and the blue man gets a job in New York. It's all very simply told, this bit of the story. But up till this point, they're hanging out together. Think like the first 10 minutes of Up without the death.
Okay.
Right?
An alternate ending to the beginning of Up.
Yeah. Everyone's getting along great. Nobody's dying. And anyway, this call comes. They have to separate. And you kind of get an idea as you're going that the world is a bunch of sort of vignettes that you're going to have to traverse through. But you don't really play them yet, but you kind of get an idea how this game's going to work. Anyway, he goes off to New York, has his job. He falls asleep one night at his computer and has a dream, and his girlfriend is there, or his wife, or whatever she is there, but in this kind of spirity form that's sort of just saying, hey, your city's beautiful, and it's all very nice, and the music's very nice and everything. It's all very heartfelt and kind of sweet. Anyway, this is where it teaches you how to play the game. So she'll kind of beckon you across the map, and you'll realize that, well, I can only go so far, and then it cuts off. But then there's this whole other sheet, a whole other vignette, or a whole other image of a background that's nothing to do with the one he's on. Because, again, they're separated. They're a fold apart. That's the name of the game.
Right.
So you have to fold the paper, or you can flip it around up backwards, or figure out how can I line this up just right so that there's a bridge here.
Like a platform that connects the two or whatever.
Exactly.
That's cool. I'm looking at it right now. So yeah, it's like you're pulling the back side of the paper around to the front to make things connect.
Yes, and you can flip the paper entirely and go, oh, I see on the back here there's this thing. So now you can fold it so the character's back on the front, but really he's now on the back, and it's a little mind-bendy, but it works.
That's cool.
It is very cool.
This looks like it's right up my alley. I like puzzly games like this.
I think you would like it. Plus, it's completely.
Hi guys.
Whoops! Let's turn that off. I was going to get some video for the chat room. Someone just joined us. Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, is this a work Zoom meeting all of a sudden?
Yeah, we're Zoom. Zoom has got security issues, so you know. All right, so I'm going to pull this up and show the chat for a second. But anyway, just so you can get a taste of the artwork. It is just a really sweet, nice little story. And when they do the parts where, like, you'll text your girlfriend and talk to her for a while and say, hey, you were in my dream last night, and she'll say, oh really, I hope it was okay. And he's like, yeah, it was good, and you were floating around the city and you were out hanging out with me and I loved it and I wish we could be together. And it's just this nice thing that just happens to come out. They've been working on it for years, so this isn't like they meant to do this, but it just so happens to come out while we're all a little separated, you know.
Social distancing, yeah, right.
So it's kind of it was a nice little sweet way of looking at it, and how they would share their lives alone but together.
Wait, you mean it hasn't always been like this? Because it sure feels like it's always been like this.
There are times.
I can't remember a time when it wasn't like this all of a sudden.
Yeah, there are times where I'm like, holy crap, are we still going here? Like, what are we doing? Anyway, it's a very, very cool thing, and I highly recommend it. I'm not super deep into it yet, but I'm far enough to know that I like it a lot. And I think I'm going to finish it out. I can't imagine it's too long. Like I said, this is also on the Switch, so if that's your preferred platform, it's available there. I think it's coming to PC. The only place it won't be is Android, because that's the deal with Apple Arcade. They get exclusivity on those on the phone versions.
If it's going to be a mobile version, it has to be exclusive.
And this is great on iPad as well. I looked at it on there, ran great. Cloud syncs to that and all that stuff. So, and on Macs, if you have an Apple Arcade subscription, it works on everything. So, or everything in their ecosystem.
Try any of these games that I get on Apple Arcade on the Mac. I don't know why.
You should try. They work really well on there. Yeah, it's pretty neat, and they're all synced up. So if you make some progress, it just shows up on your iPad later. It's fine. Anyway, it's very good, and I like it. It's called A Fold Apart, and I will just mention the other one because it's worth mentioning. I'm just not far enough into it to give it a full enough review, I think, for the show. But Beyond Blue, so far, is pretty neat. It's got some cheese going on that I'll mention in a second. But basically, you're exploring the ocean, and you're scanning different sea life, and you're putting it in a database. And then your goal is to find more of it, and then find these buoys and scan for weird sounds, and then follow those sounds, and then scan more stuff. It's kind of like...
Sounds like No Man's Sky without, like the cataloging.
Kind of like that. The cataloging bit in No Man's Sky, or in Animal Crossing, trying to find a new fish and take it to the place and say, oh, we've never seen this fish before. It's like that a little bit.
Right.
So it feeds into that. There was that old Pokemon game where you just go around and take pictures on the N64. I don't remember what that was called.
Pokemon Snap.
It's got a little taste of that in there. Really pretty graphics. Pretty realistic looking graphics. It's a underwater
gorgeous.
thing.
Yeah, I'm looking at the video of it right now, and it's a thing I love, and also causes weird dread with me is how far you can see underwater. Because then you start seeing a shadow of something, and it's like, oh, what's that? It comes all the way back to Myst with this underwater, one of the underwater rooms you had to go to, and you're in front of this big glass window, and you're playing with buttons or something, and you turn on a green light, and all of a sudden a big ass whale creature looking thing rams his head against the glass out of nowhere, and that freaked me the hell out because I was playing like 11 o'clock at night. I probably would have
It'll get you.
Talked about Mark Knopfler's penis at that point or something.
That's the natural inclination, is to yell about Mark Knopfler's penis when that happens.
Exactly.
No. But it's definitely got some of that. There's like a little bit of if underwater gives you any kind of like the willies, this thing has got some of that. But it's also done very lightly. It's not meant to be scary, or nothing really attacks you or whatever. As far as I know, like I said, I haven't gotten very far, but it's a chill thing. I like it. It seems real neat so far. So I'm gonna give that some more time. I just don't think I'd give it a full recommendation just yet. But it is on arcade, which means if you've got the subscription, you may as well get it, because there's no harm in that. And all these games don't have any micro crap in it, so they're just games. And it seems neat. The cheese part, the dialogue in this thing is pretty cheesy, because you're live streaming, I guess, in here.
Okay.
So,
oh, really?
I mean, you're not really doing it in real life.
Right. But the character is.
Yeah, it's like, all right, we're ready to live stream our.
Hey, cool cats and kittens. Thanks for coming to my deep dive today.
A little bit of that's in there, just a tiny bit. It's not full Carol Baskin, but it's close. You're a lady too, which is fine. You can be a lady. But so far so good, and I would recommend both these new additions to that service. Okay, Brian, tell me what you brought.
Nice. That's really cool, and apparently I've got thalassophobia, because that is the fear of deep dark water, according to Matt Haig Music.
I share the same. I share that phobia, but only when I'm in it. I'm okay in
exactly.
a game.
Yeah.
But in the real world, like Lake Powell or something, when I can't see below my feet, F that.
Right. Yeah, there was a point we went to when we went to Roatan on the connector between North and South America, not isthmus, whatever that is. Anyway, it's right by Honduras, and it's an island off of Honduras. They have the second biggest barrier reef next to the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, and so we went snorkeling around that thing. And there's one point that you go over a crevasse that is so deep and dark and black you cannot see down there, and freaks me out, like swimming over that, looking straight down, like something could just go zoom.
Yep. Just grab you with a tentacle tongue or something. It's awful.
Yeah, totally freaked me out. Anyway, all right, my game Also a recent Apple release, but not on the arcade, and I really wish it was because it would take away one of the biggest complaints I have about it. It is, I'm a big fan of that old Arkanoid. Love Arkanoid.
Oh, Arkanoid's great.
The old
Yeah,
Arkanoid game.
sure.
Always liked breakout style games. So I decided to try one that got pitched to me called Micro Breaker.
Micro Breaker.
Micro Breaker.
Mhm.
Now, what's cool about this is the graphics are really sharp. It's got a very realistic three-dimensional look to it. You're not just hitting and exploding two-dimensional Arkanoid blocks. You're knocking over like metal cubes that when you hit one, all the rest of the ones kind of fall over like a big tower, and you have to knock those out too.
Oh, look at that.
And the physics are pretty cool, except for one part that really bothers me, and I'm kind of getting past it. You play it on, I think the iPad is the best platform for this because you basically drag your finger around to move your paddle to hit things.
Yeah.
But here's the problem, and the only problem, I'm gonna get it out of the way quickly. When you got your paddle, right?
Yeah.
Let's say that this is your Arkanoid paddle. When you hit the ball here,
Mm-hmm.
the ball goes straight back. If it comes straight, it bounces back straight.
Right.
When you hit the ball here, it bounces off, and if you hit it right here, it goes bing and like shoots off
Right.
really far out there.
Right.
With this game, only the very tips of the paddle cause any sort of deflection. And that's a hard thing to get used to. When you want to send the ball that way, I'm used to like, okay, going that way and like moving my paddle one direction so that it goes off the other way.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so in the old days, you used to be able to like kind of juke, and if it was just off
Right.
center, yeah, that's a
then
weird.
you'd get a slight juke that direction.
That's a weird
With this
decision.
one,
Very weird.
it is a weird decision because all the other physics stuff they get right, and
Yeah.
it looks great and feels really, really real.
Do you have to push up to knock it, or will it just bounce? Because
It'll bounce.
Okay.
It'll bounce, but you can increase the force by pushing. And I found that if you move left and move right while the ball is hitting your paddle, then it's like you're putting English on it and sending it that direction.
Okay.
So that's a little bit better. That's that I kind of like. But the rest of it's good. It's got your Arkanoid stuff like power-ups come down. Some of them are good and help you out. Some of them are bad, like reduce your paddle size or create multi-ball. All that stuff that you know and love from those type of games. The power-ups coming back at you.
Oh yeah, look at this. I see how this works. Okay.
It does have microtransactions. That's where I kind of wish, not even kind of, that's where I wish this thing was Apple Arcade because, if you want to replay a level, you either have to watch an ad or you spend these constantly recharging batteries, and you get 30 batteries and you go through them. You don't go through them that quickly, so I could just use up a battery. But if you're not fast enough saying I want to use a battery, then it starts showing an ad for some dumb Homescapes game or something.
Of course. Oh, this is really neat though. Wow, look at this.
It is. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous game, and aside from the physics issue and the one physics issue and the microtransactions, everything else about it I really, really like, and it's awesome on the iPad with the big screen.
So it looks like it's got ads, but you can buy out of the ads.
You can pay $6 and buy out of the ads.
$6. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you end up playing that thing Dan recommended to us? The one with the dice. What was that called? It was based on a game you really
Sagrada.
liked. Yeah. How'd that go for you? Did you enjoy it?
I love it. Yeah. It's just like playing the board game, and it's got pass and play, so you can, and it's a perfect phone game. Perfect phone killing time while you're waiting in line for something, or not a big long drawn out thing. You just play one round of it. And which is filling up one of those grid boards. Totally worth it. It's $2.99. It's a bargain.
All right. Oh, I thought it was $7 or something. Is it only $2.99?
I thought it was only $2.99. Was it $7? Even if it was $7,
still worth it. Okay.
Worth it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, here it is. It's on the store for $7.99.
$7. Oh, $8. Whoa,
yeah,
not $8.
Whoa, back up. $8 for good.
Okay, $8 still worth it.
Still worth it. Okay. All right.
Still worth it.
Well, you'd pay like $19 for the board game, right? Or at least.
At least,
Like
yeah.
24, something like
the
that.
board game's, the board game's beautiful. It's a very pretty game.
Yeah, I like it. From what I can see, I just needed your review before I picked it up. So
Yeah. Plunk down, pick that thing up. It's a blast.
I'm gonna plunk down and pick it up.
Plunk down. plunk down.
Well, there you go, everybody. If you have some apps you want to recommend to us, always send us messages on the site and let us know what you think.
Don't change the subject. Just answer the fucking question.
All right, time for us to answer the booping question.
Okay. All right.
These are questions submitted
wow.
by you on the website. You just went over there and went to frogpants.com/TMS and you hit send, and we got a bunch today, so I'm going to read them. Here's one from Bagheera, who says, did either of you get KK Slider to do your concert on your island? He's supposed to come to my island tomorrow. Social distancing be damned. The show must go on. So I have not focused on the KK Slider unlock stuff at all.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and I need to because
that's how you get. Yeah, that's how you get some. That's how you unlock the being able to create paths on your island and
right
terraforming and.
I haven't got any of that yet because
Gotcha.
I have focused. Dude, I've spent all my bells rather, on infrastructure upgrades, inclines, and bridges. I've gone nuts with that. And they take a day to do one.
Yes, right. You can only do one at a time. It takes a day.
They're expensive.
And your other residents never contribute.
They don't
never.
care. No, they
like,
never do.
I'll donate 3 bells. Here you go.
They don't do jack.
Thanks. Towards my $112,000 bridge. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
That you're going to be walking on.
Everyone thinks this is a socialist utopia. It's a subsidized utopia that I pay for.
That's right. Exactly.
But anyway, I haven't done any of that KK Slider stuff, and my daughter thinks I'm crazy because I could have had it probably 3 weeks ago. I just haven't cared. I've cared mostly about amassing my fortune and spending most of it on infrastructure upgrades. So I'm going to do that now. I got to go and do the crap with what's her name and get the better ratings and all that stuff. And I just haven't done any of that. My house is like, I don't know, it looks like the place the Jackass cast would live. Like it's just a mess.
It's not Hype House.
No.
Or it is Hype House?
Yeah, I guess it is kind of Hype House in some ways, depending on what you believe about Hype House. But anyway, I'm still just completely hooked in and play it every day. I just have not done that KK Slider stuff. My daughters love it. They're like, Dad, it's Saturday night. Come to my place. He's doing a concert. And I'm like, yeah, it's bad. And there's credits the whole time. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he could come sing some hits.
That's right. Exactly. I want to hear some Lady Gaga.
Yeah. I mean, you can. So, when you go in the store and you can alter this little song that plays when you talk to Timmy or Tommy.
Yeah.
Taylor's got Stand By Me. Aha's thing.
Take On Me.
Take On Me. We walk in there and it does the Take On Me song. It's
really?
amazing.
You can put your own. You can choose your own music to play in the store.
Yeah, and the way you do it, you don't choose a song. You arrange the notes. So if you know if you know music at all, and I don't know any, but you can make any tune you want, like anything.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So I got to do more of that. Right now, mine's just a mishmash.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, that's great. Okay.
They'll even give you a quest for Miles to say, go do that. And then I'll do it randomly. But then she showed me that. I'm like, Taylor, how is it when I walk in there, they're playing Aha's Take On Me every time? She's like, oh, I looked it up. Someone did it online. So anyway,
that's
apparently
great.
she's apparently busy today making me and the whole family who has the game. We're all supposed to get in tonight because she's apparently made us all Bob's Burgers outfits. And so
wow.
So I'm gonna have like a Bob mustache, and she made me a little chef thing, and just basically his clothes. Tina looks just like Tina. Gene looks like Gene. Carter's got the bunny ears for Louise so cool. And everything. So
you gotta, I can't wait. I'm sure you're posting Twitter pictures as soon as.
We absolutely will. Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't be streaming it because we're all on lights. Unfortunately, those don't stream. But there you go. All right.
Nice.
But you've done all this KK Slider stuff, though, right?
I've done all the KK Slider stuff. Yeah.
Have you filled your town with pathing and stuff? Have you done that?
No, I'm in the process of doing that. I have paths that go from the airport to the stores, both stores. I've paid to move the stores so that they're right by where people come in, and I've paid to push all my residents to the furthest edge of my island so that I can arrange all my trees in a very easy way for me to hit them, knock all the wood out of them, and see where the damn wood is, where it all fell.
That's great. I do. Yeah. That's really good. I do. I did this thing the other day where I went and ate a bunch of fruit and dug up. The reason I had to do that is I had to dig up a tree rather than just cut it down. Dig up a tree to see if it was a fruit tree or not. If it's just a hardwood tree, I don't care. So
right, because you can get hardwood from a fruit tree.
Yeah,
you can't get fruit from a hardwood tree.
Exactly. Yes.
There's no point to keeping. I mean, you wouldn't have gotten any cherry blossoms if you would have kept. If you would have gotten rid of all your hardwood trees, you would have no cherry blossoms because those only come from hardwood trees. So keep a few.
I've got a few out there, but not enough to care much because all those things did for me was make sure that little bits were floating around because you never got them out of the tree anyway. They were just floating out in the nowhere, and they had eggs on them. But I don't ever want to see those eggs again, at least for another year. So for me, it's like get rid of the hardwood, put some fruit down. Anytime I find a tree where I'm like, you're not producing, yank it out of there, verify what it is, sell it, and put in its place some damned fruit. Anyway, that game's great.
Awesome.
Ken Nadak wrote in. Says, why can't I remember what day it is? I kept opening Twitch looking for TMS at 11 a.m. Eastern. I don't know. I don't know why you're doing that. What time would that be here?
Because we think that all days are the same now. I'm totally with Kenadak. Like, wake up. What day is this?
Oh, I know. Today I thought it was Thursday, and Kim says, no, it's Friday. And I went, oh, I don't have a show at 9? Oh, right. Today's PM. Like, I had to.
Yeah, totally. By the way, Mitsula, the Rula, found KK Slider covers, and this Africa one sounds just like you'd hear KK Slider playing Africa in your.
What? Hold on. I'm gonna play a little bit of this because I
jump to like 50 seconds and get past the intro.
So 50 seconds. Hold on. All right. Dude. I love this.
Isn't that awesome?
We should play that for a cover one day.
We should. We totally could.
I love that. So wait a minute. He doesn't do that in the game. Someone just made this, right?
Someone just made it, but I don't know if you can, customize your KK Slider songs. Because there's Pumped Up Kicks. There's Take On Me.
Oh, yeah. Look at all these. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got to play that one.
Okay.
Oh, I'm a 50-year-old ass man, and I'm enjoying this way, 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 way too much. Wow. That's amazing. Here, let me skip ahead on here. Okay, that's
awesome.
My favorite thing ever. Good find there, Mitsula, the Rula.
Yeah. Now find a way for me to program him to sing Pumped Up Kicks.
Of all of this stuff, yeah, maybe, yes. You do a pretty good Animal Crossing singing voice. It's pretty good.
Yeah, thanks. I'm workshopping.
Also, what was I going to say about Mitsula? Oh, I was going to say, of all the things that I'm sad that we didn't get to do in Vegas, one of them is didn't get to see Mitsula. I miss that guy.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites. He rules.
He is. He's the Rula.
He's a Rula, Mitsula. All right, here's one from Mitch, a.k.a. Disturbed Angel in the chat room. Is he here today? Might be.
Maybe.
I don't know. He says this. What do you guys use as wallpapers on your tech, computers, phones, etc.? Myself, I've been a big fan of the work of Digital Blasphemy over the last decade, but I'm always down to mix it up. So I use a lot of sci-fi backgrounds that are pretty random, like nobody in particular. I just find one I like. I'll often just Google image search wallpaper, sci-fi, and that's it. And I'll just find something rad, and then I'll live with that for a month and then move on. What do you do?
I know. I kind of like the... let's see. How can I get rid? I want to get rid of all these and just see my background. Right now, I've got the Bellagio fountains on my phone.
That sounds right. Sounds like a thing you.
Oh, here we go. If I view all my, nope, then I still have them. Oh, I can just clear. There we go. That way I can show you.
while you're
So
doing
it's the Bellagio.
Oh yeah,
the
look at
Bellagio
that.
fountains.
Yeah, I like that. What
And
song
I
do you
think it's one that's like it is a live video or live.
Oh, so you can hold it and move it?
Let's do that better. Yeah.
Do that again.
So if I do this.
Oh yeah, look at that. What song do you think's playing there? If you had to guess.
It's probably the Beef It's What's for Dinner music.
Wow.
I don't know.
I wouldn't have guessed.
But on my iPad, it is the red blood cells that kind of fade in and out, like the dynamic background one.
Oh, that one's cool. That's a built-in one, right?
Yeah. It's one of the built-in ones. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I used to have the horde symbol. I used to have a close-up of my cat. I've tried a bunch of things. This one is the most non-obtrusive, and I kind of dig that.
I'm showing the chat room this now. I'll send it to you in Discord. I started yesterday. It's not done yet, which is why this looks not done. Oh my gosh, Discord, why won't you open? Okay. I can't get Discord to work. So this isn't done yet, although it's close. I need to do some finish work on it, but it's a phone. I made one just for phones, and we're just going to give it.
That's so cool.
So everybody can just have it and use it if they want to. So
Yeah.
pretty
totally gonna do that.
standard format for Android and iOS. Background for most modern phones. It'll scale depending on what
If you're not going to give him hair, I'm going to take it now.
You can.
Or if you're planning on giving him hair, I'm going to take it now and put it on my phone.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to not give him hair. He's going to be bald.
Okay, in that case, I'll wait till
You'll
you're
be
done.
okay. Yeah, I'll let you know when I do
Oh,
it. but-
Blue Ridge John says that's Hoedown from the Rodeo Suite by Aaron Copeland. Yes. So
Oh, very cool.
that's the Beef It's What's for Dinner. I'm still going to keep calling it the Beef It's What's for Dinner.
You should
song.
do that until the end of time.
It's What's for Dinner.
Never change. All right, we got one from Jack Fox. He's great. Love Jack Fox.
Yes. Yeah.
Says, if you could choose one of the following, which would it be? Number one, never have to sleep and never feel tired at all. Boy, that's a tempting one already, okay? I'm just going to say. Number two, immunity to all viruses, illnesses, etc. Basically, you can never get sick. Or three, you could have access to every video game in the world that has ever existed and all future games as they are released without having to pay a dime for them.
Okay. Well, I'm ruling 3 out. As much fun as 3 sounds,
Right.
I'm ruling it out because
It's just
I
not
don't
as
have
good as
time to
one.
play the games I pay for.
Right.
This wouldn't solve many problems for me.
It's not as good as 1 and 2 either, just on the face of it.
Yeah.
And I love video games, but I can get plenty for what I want to do. I mean, it's and 2's kind of baity. I'm not saying he's baiting us, but I'm saying it's a little. It's easier to see 2 and go, oh yeah, I don't want any viruses.
Right
give me a
now,
virus.
yeah.
But I like number 1 a lot.
Yeah, here's the problem with number 1. I mean, I guess if you basically now have 24 hours a day to do whatever you want
Yeah.
instead of 16 hours a day or 18 hours a day or whatever,
Right.
depending on how much sleep you feel like you need to get.
Right.
And nobody else is going to be up. So, I mean, if you made that your work time, that would actually be really like make that your I'm getting freelance done, but you wouldn't want to like make it your I'm going to do some streaming time.
Right. That's a good way to look at it. I mean,
Unless you're streaming for Australia or the UK or
you would have a distinct advantage over the rest of the world if you're the only person who got to do number 1.
yeah. How long would you live if you're immune to all viruses, illness, etc.? I mean, you die.
Yeah. When do you die?
Just when your cells finally crumble?
Isn't that a form of disease?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
I don't know.
we define the breakdown of bodily tissues as disease.
It's almost like number 1. Yeah, right. Oh, I'd hate to get sick if you pick number 1. That's true. But if you never have to sleep and you're basically awake for 24 hours, that's when I would be able finally to catch up with all the video games. So maybe I'd want.
Right. But also, I always try to think of like what hardship in life makes you appreciate the good times better, and I think being sick once in a while is a good reminder to like take better care of yourself. When you do feel good, you appreciate it more, that sort of thing. But if I'm never tired again, I feel like I don't need to be tired to know how great it feels to not be tired.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss it. It's like, oh boy, I love being tired.
I get so much done.
I love that feeling of waking up in the morning.
I could get so much more done is all. All these problems I have with not getting stuff done that I want to get done goes away if I can just stay up 24/7.
Yep, I think number 1, I'm with you. Number 1.
Norse Bear wrote in, says, hi all, I was hoping you could ask this question. I have to the Frog
You want
Pants
us to ask
community.
the question?
Well, he wants it to go to the Frog Pants
Oh,
community.
ask this question I have to the Frog Pants community. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's
Okay.
got some strange punctuation in there. It says,
Ask we will.
in the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, was the song at the end of the movie Come On Eileen, Come On Eileen, from the band Save Ferris, or it's a cover, he says, in a question mark. Anyway, he says, I just watched the movie and there was a different song and I'm wondering if I'm having a Nelson Mandela effect going on, driving me a little crazy. Thanks. I like that he called it Nelson Mandela
The Nelson
effect.
Mandela effect. Yes.
That's
well, I
great.
mean, because that's where the term comes from, but that is really just the.
Just go all in, man. Just do
I mean,
his whole name.
you do say Lou Gehrig's disease. You don't just call it Gehrig's disease.
No, that's true. But usually, just most people just call it the Mandela
He's
effect.
got.
But I respect it.
That poor guy's on the spectrum. He's got Fred Alzheimer's.
There you go.
Or Fred Asperger's, not
Was
Alzheimer's.
Was that his real name, Fred Asperger's?
No, I don't think it was. But
All right. So I don't know
Anyway.
the answer to this question, but you might because you're a music guy.
yeah, I don't think it ever was. I want to say that Come On Eileen comes from Mean Girls. The one from 10 Things I Hate About You is the letters to Cleo. Cruel to be kind. Cruel to be kind?
Cruel to be
I think
kind.
Cruel to be kind
Up
in the right measure.
to-
But the Save Ferris one, I thought came from Mean Girls or something else. Oh, I Want You to Want Me. That's what it is. It's letters to Cleo's I Want You to Want Me.
Did Save Ferris name their band name after Ferris Bueller's
Bueller.
thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
after the water tower in Ferris Bueller.
didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
How dumb! I didn't know that.
No,
Maybe I thought they
Yeah,
meant
not that
save
dumb.
Anna Ferris from her marriage to
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Yeah, save her.
Save Anna Faris. Chris Pratt is just too handsome and funny.
He's too funny. I can't deal with it. He's so funny.
Right.
I don't know why they got divorced. They never said. Just didn't
Yeah, I
work
don't
out. I guess. I don't know.
I bet they were just constantly fighting over who was funnier than
Maybe.
the other one.
Yeah.
Because they're both very funny.
Well, the lady he married now isn't so much of a comedian. She's just sort of a lady, right? I don't remember who he married, actually. I really wanted him to marry what's her name.
He's with a not a Schwarzenegger or a Kardashian. Who is he with right now? It was a weird. Not married to, but Chris Pratt.
Oh my gosh, Catherine Schwarzenegger, right? She's Schwarzenegger's kid.
Oh, he is with a Schwarzenegger. That's
Yeah.
right, Catherine Schwarzenegger.
I wonder if in bed she goes all the time.
She's come with me if you want to live.
I want to.
Get to the chapel.
Get to the chapel. That wins.
Thank you very much.
Well, good job there, Chris Pratt. Okay. Oh wait, there's another. Oh yeah, Patrick Schwarzenegger's the son who's now getting into acting.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I wonder what they would say about their dad hanging around with freaking donkeys all day, feeding them.
I know. So great. Is he? Do we need to worry that he's going to go Busey? Like Schwarzenegger's going to go a little Busey.
He may go full Busey. You never know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. All right, we got one here from Swede. Okay, Swede is his name.
Swede.
Let's see. This is what Swede says. He says, "Hello. Just FYI, in case you didn't know, all Skarsgård actors are sons of Stellan Skarsgård, who plays Bootstrap Bill in Pirates of the Caribbean. Cheers from Sweden. Is that true?"
Like it's basically he's fathered every Skarsgård. He was in Thor too, right? He's
the old guy.
the scientist. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Are you saying?
Let's see. So he is the father of Alexander Skarsgård, Bill Skarsgård, Gustav Skarsgård, Aisha Skarsgård, Walter Skarsgård, Sam Skarsgård, Ossian Skarsgård, and Kolbjorn Skarsgård. Wow,
Wow.
how does he have time to act?
I'm a little blown away by that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that. I mean the Hemsworth. That's an impressive family. You could say the Baldwins in their day.
These guys crafted
This is crazy,
eight Skarsgårds,
and they're all kind of great. Like they're all good in their own. Like I didn't know this 43-year-old Alexander Johann Halmar Skarsgård, Mr. Sexy Man, was the son of him.
Oh yeah, you got to watch Mute on Netflix if you haven't yet.
Meant to and haven't yet, but I will.
That's so
Oh yeah, look at this. No, I love Stellan Skarsgård is one of my favorites. That guy's freaking great. He was so good in that recent Chernobyl deal.
Oh right, yeah.
But I have to say, I saw some scene of him in the thing, and I don't remember what the movie was, but someone sent me a scene where he showed his wiener in it.
A scene with Ween.
And an old man.
And Bill
wiener.
Skarsgård is
Yeah.
the Pennywise.
Oh, let's see.
Like the actor who plays Pennywise in the
That's
movies.
also his kid?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Blown away. I'm blown
What
away.
about Gustav? Gustav was in Vikings, Westworld,
Yeah.
Cursed Evil. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The brother Gustav Skarsgård. Oh, I know him. He's
Asia
great.
Skarsgård.
He's so good. Oh, my gosh.
She
This
doesn't appear to be doing anything. Walter Skarsgård looks like he was in Lords of Chaos, Funhouse, Black Lake. Nothing I've seen.
Well done, these guys. That's some Swedish
kidding.
business.
That's some good Skarsgård.
Pretty good
stock.
Skarsgård. Do you think they're ever sitting around going, only dad's in an MCU movie? Lame.
That's right. Yes.
All right, well, that's awesome. Yes, it's that
Yeah.
Von Trier movie. Somebody sent me a scene and said, hey, you like that guy from Avengers, do you? Check this out. And it was a scene where he just had his wiener out. And I didn't want to see it, and I was mad they emailed it to me.
When somebody just sent you like, hey, there's a picture of that guy's wiener.
Yeah, because we were talking on Film Sack about how much we liked him in things, and I don't remember what the conversation, maybe it was here, I don't know. But somebody had said, well, you think you like him. Or maybe it was because I was saying he's so great in Chernobyl. He goes, oh, you like him, do you? Well, check out this scene he was in. And it was that, I don't know what that's called, but it was some weird, was it Nymphomaniac? That's the name of it?
Oh yeah, I've heard of that movie.
I
haven't seen
never
it.
saw that. Didn't that have no, was in it, right?
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf was in
Maybe.
that.
Maybe.
I know, Benjamin. Sometimes I trust you people when you email me. That's all.
Wow, somebody got a really big box. FedEx is delivering it right now. I wonder if I can do this. You
Is
can
it
probably
you?
see it if I do this.
Is it you? Is it you?
Like, you can almost see.
Brian, you don't have enough screens.
No, it's not me.
You need 5 more screens.
I know.
Could you get-
Right? Like that one, and then that one, and then that one. Yeah.
And then there's one
basically.
behind you on the wall, and then there's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. There's one over there.
It's just not
Well,
enough.
yeah,
Get
that's
another
another-
8 screens, and you'll be set.
I'm sterile.
Speaking of old wieners that don't work anymore.
That's right. Exactly.
All right, we have done all we can do. Keep those coming. If you sent one and it didn't get read, don't worry. I'm going to keep these and keep moving them forward and use them on PM. Now, a lot of you folks are listening to this saying, oh, man, I remember how much I love the PM edition of the show. And you'd be right in thinking that. But you can't get it unless you support us at patreon.com/TMS. If you do, then you get it every Friday, no matter what. But today's a little bit of a freebie just to remind you how great it is and to make up for yesterday. So
That's right. It's like you're getting a stimulus package delivered to your ears every week.
Do you want us to stimulate your package? Then get in there and help us out. That'd be great. Patreon.com/TMS for everything else you may need to know or do or have. It's all over at frogpants.com/TMS. All right, Brian, we're going to play a song on our way out the door. Can you tell me what it is?
Yes, Wicked Truth wrote in and said, hey, can I get a song played for my upcoming birthday? Thanks, guys. Love show. Just love show.
Love show.
Your essential nurse. So,
One of our
Wicked Truth, thank
nurses,
you.
yeah.
Yes, on the front lines and